and his loving son, Shukrana Maharaj. Thank you, as always, for your impeccable ways and your mystical blessings. I was going back and forth with Ekta yesterday, and I wanted to actually do the reading at 8 a.m. And now when I look back, this was the right time. Agar main 8 baje ki commitment kar bhi deti, so probably Guruji knew कि मैं उसको honor नहीं कर पाती because, unexpected meetings came up and I wouldn't have been able to do it. So whatever Guruji करवाते हैं, I keep emphasizing this कि चाहे हमें समझ आए या ना आए, चाहे हम agree करें या ना करें, it is all good in the grand scheme of things. So, yesterday we had finished off where Sukhmani Aunty was starting to see Amrit Varsha in Guruji's Swarups. So, आगे पढ़ते हैं. We'll continue with the same chapter. One day, as I entered Guruji's room to clean it, I noticed a yellow patch on the green-colored carpet, assuming someone had dropped something. I began to scrub the patch vigorously. Just then Guruji walked into the room. What happened? Asked Guruji. Guruji, there is a yellow patch on your carpet that I am trying to clean, but it's not going. Oh, that. That patch got burned last night. Therefore, it is discolored. Now touch it and see. I have just taken out Amrit from that patch as well. Although I was scrubbing the area with a dry cloth, the patch now was wet. I smelled it and it had the same divine fragrance of his Amrit. The patch remained fragrant as long as Guruji was in Chandigarh. After cleaning the temple and Guruji's chamber, I would then wash his clothes. Needless to say, his clothes too were drenched in divine Amrit and had the same fragrance. I tried washing them till the fragrance could go, but that was my stupidity. The more I washed, the stronger the fragrance grew. No matter through how many waters I took them out, the fragrance remained. No perfume could pass this test. So again, we might feel that, oh my God, 1,000 perfume bottles की fragrance Guruji ने अपने ऊपर उड़ेली दी है. But जो वो दिखा रहे थे कि ये fragrance, जो divine fragrance, जो हर इस किताब में या हर पुराने सत्संग में आप सुनोगे उसका reference कि वो गुलाबों जैसी, कई कहते हैं कि वो चंदन की, everybody has their own way of describing, but वो fragrance Guruji के अंदर से आती थी, and like Guruji said कि करोड़ों वर्ष के तप के बाद that fragrance was generated, and that fragrance is unique to Mahashiv. So let's continue reading. I always had a habit of collecting things that Guruji discarded, things like a plaster on his fingers, seeds of fruits that he ate, or an old towel or old glasses. I soon had a bag full of things belonging to Guruji. I would replace his toothbrushes sooner than they needed changing and keep the old ones. I even collected the dust that got swept out of his room. For me, even that was more precious than anything in the world. And so lucky is she that she had this realization back then. Guruji was obviously aware of my activities and was rather amused. And I strongly feel that this gurmat was given to her by Guruji himself. If by any chance I would forget to collect something of his, he would quietly push it towards me and point out, Sukhmani, don't you want this? I would then quickly grab it before anyone else would think of throwing it away. One thing that I always had my eyes on were his shoes. I was fortunate enough to be given his dresses as prasad, but I always had my eyes on his shoes. Each time he would give them away to someone, he would look at me and smile, but he never gave them to me as long as he lived in his physical body. the day Guruji took Mahasamadhi. I cried in front of his photograph and said, Guruji, if you truly loved me like your daughter, send me your shoes. I don't care how you make it possible, but until you do, I won't believe you love me enough. Within 2 months, I had Guruji's shoes in my hands. For a short period, Guruji switched from wearing silk dresses to cotton ones. My mother got one dress for Guruji, prepared in cotton. Just as soon as she had it stitched, Guruji went back to wearing silk again. Feeling a bit ashamed of presenting him with an ordinary cotton dress, my mother decided not to give it to him. One night, I saw Guruji in telepathy, and he asked me to bring him the cotton dress that my mother had got stitched for him. I managed to convince my mother to give it to him. But instead, she just quietly kept the dress in the room. While giving us leave for the day, he told us to come next day at 2 p.m. On reaching the temple at 2 p.m. as instructed, we were told that Guruji had gone out and had instructed us to wait. Within 10 minutes, Guruji walked in wearing the cotton dress that my mother had got made for him. A guru doesn't see the value of a gift offered by a disciple. What he does, however, see is the love and intention with which it is offered. And that is spot on, Sangaji. A lot of times we get asked this question, ke, oh, Guruji ko bhog mein kya khilaye, Guruji ko kya khana pasand tha? And we always give one response, ke hamara guru hamare bhav ka bhuka hai. Guruji doesn't care, you give him a sandwich or you give him pulao or you give him a paratha. Anything jo aap sachai se, safai se, pavitrata se Guruji ke aage prastut karoge, वो गुरुजी जरूर ग्रहण करेंगे क्योंकि हमारा गुरु हमारे प्यार का, हमारे भाव का भूखा है. There is nothing that we are truly capable of giving to our guru. So all we can give is our utmost love and our surrender. हमारा विश्वास, हमारा समर्पण, हमारा प्यार, हम यही तो दे सकते हैं और बाकी हम दे क्या सकते हैं गुरुजी को? कुछ भी नहीं. We think कि हमारे पास कोई भी ऐसी material belonging है जो हम गुरुजी को दे सकते हैं. He's the one who's giving us everything. Hum kya denge unko? Close the mandir today and tell everyone I have gone out. Guruji told my mother and I. Sukhmani Aunty, you distribute the prasad on my behalf, and after everyone has gone, come and tell me what happened. As instructed, we closed the temple and told everyone that Guruji had gone out. We distributed the prasad from the gate to the Sangat as and when they came. Some accepted his orders, took prasad and went back. Some questioned us about his whereabouts, while some got angry with us and never took the prasad. As we finished and went in, Guruji told us exactly what had happened at the gate. He named the people who didn't accept the prasad that day. Do the same thing tomorrow, said Guruji. As instructed, we stood at the gate the next day to distribute the prasad. Again, the same people questioned us and got angry with us. Some accused us of telling lies, and some quietly accepted Guruji's orders and went back. After we finished and went in, Guruji gave us the details of what had happened again. Guruji, what was the reason behind this? I asked. Jis tarah tusi koi cheez nu kharidan ta pehle test karde ho, main bhi chela banan ta pehle test karda haan. अहंकार रब दी राह ते चलन नहीं देंदा. कदे भी अपने गुरु नू डिस्कस ना करया करो ते हमेशा उसकी गल मनिया करो. So बहुत deep meaning है इसके पीछे, and what Guruji is essentially saying is like we try to test things before we accept them. We take cars on test drives. कोई भी चीज हम लेते हैं तो अपनी तरफ से उसको ठोक बजा कर लेते हैं. So he's saying just as you test something before buying it, I too test people before I make them my disciples. He then said, ego is the biggest deterrent on the path of spirituality. Never question the guru's orders and never try to probe about your guru. So, because I think we are human beings and working as design, and we all feel that we have a certain level of understanding. So sometimes we do like to question. And when things are not going our way, it is but natural to either have a sad response or an angry response, or we respond with ego because we feel hurt. Or how does this person know better than me? And this is where I think spiritual awakening, evolution comes into play. When you start to have that self-check and self-realization that, oh my God, these words left my mouth and probably they weren't right. Or maybe this was a response out of my ego. My ego was responding to the situation. And it's work in progress. It's not, the one-time sort of fix. You and I, all of us will continuously need to be conscious of this and work on this collectively on a daily basis, because I think as a chote test, chote ya bade, Guruji will keep sending our way and he'll keep seeing whether we are ready to take on the next level or not. My mother and I were sitting with Guruji in his room when suddenly he said, the Shiva idol at Chhatarpur temple has been installed. I knew that Guruji's temple was being constructed in Delhi, but beyond that, I knew nothing. I was there and I even took out a sound from the idol. I could just say, yes, Guruji, as I didn't understand how he could be in Delhi when he was here with us all the time. The next day, a caretaker from Delhi temple came with a box of sweets to meet Guruji and tell him that the Shiva idol had been installed the day before. Guruji just looked at me and smiled. Similarly, we were again with Guruji when he asked both my mom and me to press his feet. Press my feet and I shall take a nap. My mother and I were busy pressing his feet when he woke up and asked, how much time has passed? I looked at the clock and said, half an hour, Guruji. Just half an hour? I've already been to America. A saintly person visiting Guruji once asked me, do you think Guruji is sitting here? I looked at Guruji and said, of course he is. He is sitting on his asan. Can't you see him? He smiled and nodded. This is just his body. Guruji is somewhere else. That's when we realized that Guruji had the ability to be at 2 or more places at the same time. One disciple visiting Guruji in Chandigarh felt heartbroken at the fact that he could not get to sit close to Guruji and wondered if Guruji even knew of his existence. Feeling sad and dejected, he closed his eyes to pray, and as soon as he did, he saw Guruji sitting with each and every disciple in the hall. It does not matter where you sit, whether you sit far or you sit close. It doesn't matter if you can see him or you can't. Your Guru will always be able to see you and is always near you. All you have to do is call out to him sincerely and he will be with you. Guruji often said, जेड़ा मेरे बहुत नजदीक बैठता है उसका कल्याण मैं लास्ट विच करदा हां मैं तब कोने विच बैठे लोगां दा पहला कल्याण करता है. So people who will come and try to sit close to me are the ones I bless last. I bless those who patiently sit at the back or in corners, trusting in my ability to see them even through the walls. Okay, so I'm going to share a small satsang on this. जब पहली बार गुड़गांव का सत्संग ऑर्गेनाइज हुआ था, so this was organized on the direction of Guru Sahib, and he told my father कि जनरल साहब गुड़गांव में एक सत्संग ऑर्गेनाइज कराओ, मैं गुड़गांव की संगत को ब्लेस करना चाहता हूँ, उसके बाद मैं पंजाब चला जाऊंगा. So my dad's typical army mind, paper pen निकल आया, planning शुरू हो गई. And as days were progressing, I think he started to have this realization कि ये paper, pen वगैरह तो सब ये एक mental sort of backdrop hai, because karne karane wale Guruji hai. Anyway, so that day, the D-Day arrived, and there was a lot of Sangat who'd come to seek Guruji's blessing. Of course, the numbers weren't anywhere as close to what they are today, but back then, kafi Sangat aayi, and Guruji was sitting on a stage that was built for Guruji. So naturally, jo Sangat dur se aayi ho ya even paas se aayi ho, everybody wants to come on the stage, everybody wants to touch Guruji, everybody wants to do, charan sparsh and all that. But obviously, har ek ko stage pe nahi allow kar sakte the, otherwise the stage would collapse. So my dad was standing on one side of Guruji, and Guruji was on the stage, and stage ki dusri side pe kafi commotion si ho gayi thi. So Guruji called my dad and he said, "Ki General Sahab, udhar kya ho raha hai?" So my dad explained to Guruji कि Guruji बहुत दूर से संगत आई है, and हर एक का ये भाव है कि वो आपके पास आए, स्टेज के ऊपर आए, बैठे, आपको छुए, and that's why there's this commotion, because we can't allow everybody to come on the stage. So then Guruji said कि उनको कह दो कि जहां बैठे हैं वहीं बैठे रहें, चाहे वो मुझे देख सकते हैं या नहीं देख सकते, मैं उन सबको देख सकता हूं, मैंने उनका कल्याण कर दिया है, यहाँ पर सत्संग अटेंड करें, लंगर खाए और घर जाए. So my dad heard this and he was very happy कि चलो गुरुजी ने acknowledge कर ली सबकी presence. And then वो सुन के जाके खड़े हो गए. Then Guruji called dad again, ऐसे करके इशारा करके कि जनरल साहब माइक पकड़ो और announce करो मैंने जो बोला है. And then he actually held the mic and repeated Guruji's words, which are akin to what Sukhmani Aunty said, that he is able to see everybody, even if we feel कि oh हम तो चौथे मोहल्ले में बैठे, हम पे पता नहीं नजर पड़ी कि नहीं पड़ी, rest assured उनकी नजर सब पे है. I feel like eating paneer tikkas today. I told my mother as we were getting ready to go to Guruji's temple. As soon as I entered Guruji's temple, I completely forgot about having made such a statement. Guruji was getting ready to attend a function at Disciples' home that day and asked us to join him. After the function, Guruji instructed a few of us to follow his car. Yes, that used to happen sometimes, and we used to look forward to it. Attending all weddings, going to events, just following Guruji. It used to be like an entire convoy, a paraphernalia, just Guruji ki gaadi aage aur puri sangat parivar ki gaadi sequence mein piche piche. Those were the days, Sangat ji. I presumed he was going back to the temple, but instead he drove into a 5-star hotel. Going straight into the coffee shop, he sat down and asked us all to order whatever we wanted. I still didn't remember the comment about paneer tikkas and ordered a cold coffee and sat down to enjoy it along with Guruji's divine company. I never came to know when Guruji ordered a plate of paneer tikkas, and it was brought to the table. Guruji put the plate in front of me, saying, "Aaj saadi beti nu paneer tikka khaan de man tha, sari plate kha ja." Today, my daughter feels like eating paneer tikkas. Eat the entire plate. Never had I felt so loved and so cherished before, and so I ate away with tears in my eyes. One night, as Guruji retired into his room, I gathered all the prasad utensils and his bed sheets that needed to be washed and started to walk towards my car parked outside. Just as I sat down at the passenger side, there was a knock on the window. I was a bit startled to see Guruji. How could this be possible? I just left him in his room. There is no way he could be out here as well. With all these thoughts going on in my mind, I rolled down the window, and before I could say anything, he said, "Sukhmani, from tomorrow, learn how to drive. There will be a time when you will drive me in Delhi and come to see me." Me and drive? Didn't he know I was morally frightened of driving because of the massive accident I had on the Bombay-Pune highway? I asked my mother, there is no way I'm going to learn how to drive. My stubborn resolve only lasted a day, and I was soon enrolled with one of the driving schools in Chandigarh. Every afternoon, Guruji would tell me about my progress, or rather the lack of it. You couldn't put the fourth gear today, or you can reverse the car well. This was all I would hear for the 15 days training I took with the school. Finally, Guruji instructed a young boy who I thought drove like a maniac to teach me how to drive. There was an open ground next to his temple, and as soon as I finished cleaning and washing at the temple, I was instructed to learn driving. The young boy would put bricks and chairs and would ask me to drive between them or create the 8-digit in the reverse gear. Half the time, being elder to him, I would scold him for making me do crazy things, and all this while Guruji monitored my progress. I soon started driving well. I realized that maybe sometime in the future, I may be needing the skill, and little did I know that within a few years, my grandfather would be critically ill, and my being able to drive would prove to be an asset. I learned that a guru can see the bigger picture exactly right, and one must never question his decision. Where our thinking stops, his begins. And I have a similar story on how I started to drive, and I had the same mindset. I had a phobia that, oh my God, I can never, ever drive. In India, it was not a problem because, we had drivers. But when I came here, I don't know how Guruji probably guided me and motivated me. And I am so glad that today I'm independent. And also the last point, never question your guru. Guru का वचन पत्थर की लकीर होता है. So उस बात को गांठ बांध के रख लो संदर जी कि अगर गुरुजी का कोई हुक्म है तो उसको सर आंखों पर रखकर पूरा करना है, चाहे कितना भी हमें मुश्किल लगे. वो perhaps हमारा इम्तिहान है. Guruji and doctors. During his stay in Chandigarh, Guruji would often visit various hospitals. He would either walk through wards or have his tests done, and all this while he would be blessing patients and doctors. It seemed as if Guruji was going to these hospitals to answer prayers and call for help by the thousands of patients there. Many times I have heard him say that I go to those who cannot come to me, and this was so true. I'm going to interject here. So when the pandemic started in 2020, so summer of 2020 was very, very hard for the family because that was the first time we found out about Dad's condition and how much the cancer had progressed into stage 4. Or India mein, the pandemic was far more aggressive, and so was the curfew and the lockdown situation. And I still remember jab pehli baar Dad was in need of blood, how somebody randomly with the same blood group walked in as a donor, donated, and was nowhere to be found. And we do believe that it was an angel sent by Guruji, or probably Guruji himself. And another incident that, Langar from Bade Mandir used to come home for so many days. And amidst, that entire scenario where everything was shut down, people were scared to even venture out. Getting these blessings at home proves the point that even if we may not be able to reach to him, he finds a way to come to us. Many doctors were his followers, and each one of them had one thing to say. Medical science had failed in front of Guruji. I have personally seen Guruji bring his pulse down to 40 beats per minute and then suddenly back to normal. The doctors who examined him would be baffled by the results. On one particular incident, a doctor testing Guruji's blood came out of the room looking awestruck, and he actually asked us if Guruji was from this planet or not. Yes, he makes the impossible say, I am possible. We again happened to be with him on one of his visits to the military hospital in Chandigarh. He would go there often, and maybe because he had a very soft spot for the army. That is right. One of the doctors there was his follower, and Guruji would go to his cabin and lie down on the examination bed. He would soon enter into meditation. My mother and I waited for him to come out of his meditation. And when, after a few hours, he did, my mother asked him, Guruji, why do you come to hospitals? Sukhmani Aunty, have you read the Shiv Quran? My mother replied in negative, and Guruji further added, Kai baar Shiv ji nu Guru da roop leke aana penda hai apne bhaktan nu moksha dilan vaste. Many a times, Shiv takes birth in the form of a guru to free his people from the cycle of birth and death and grant them moksha, which is salvation. Again, such strong words went right over my head. Now, as I write this book, 5 years after his Mahasamadhi, I have realized who he actually was. He gave me many hints, but I took him for granted. Exactly what we say. That ये सब चीजें हमारे आंखों के सामने हो रही थी. ये हम देखते भी थे और सुनते भी थे, लेकिन फिर भी बहुत कम समझ पाए. We have read the Mahashiv Puran many times since, and it's clearly mentioned there that except for Lord Shiv, not even Brahma or Vishnu can grant moksha. So salvation is only given to us by Mahashiv. An Ayurvedic doctor often visited Guruji, and Guruji would humor him by getting his pulse read or by taking some medications from him. Guruji, you're not well? Why do you need to eat all these medicines? I asked. Meri body tuadi body's vangu nahi hai. Meri body light hai. Ae sab dawaiyan mera kuch nahi bigaad sakti. My body is not like yours. It is full of light. All these medications cannot have any effect on me. As usual, the words didn't sink in. The doctor came every day, and I would frown each time he gave Guruji more tablets. On sensing my unhappiness, he then explained, मैं आयुर्वेदा नु bless कर रहा है. एक time आऊगा जब आयुर्वेदा बहुत demand विच होवेगा. मैं इस doctor नु भी award दिलवाना है. I am blessing Ayurveda through him. There will be a time when Ayurveda will be in much demand. I am also blessing him so that he can win an award soon. In less than a week after this discussion, the same Ayurvedic doctor won an award. One morning, Guruji visited a dentist who was his follower for a tooth extraction. He called my mother to accompany him to his clinic. On reaching there, they were told there is no electricity. Guruji sat on the chair and told the doctor to do the extraction. Guruji, there is no light, explained the doctor. Just plug the machine and it will start. I don't need electricity. The doctor did as Guruji said, and sure enough, the machine started. The extraction was done successfully, and Guruji was given a list of medications to eat. In the afternoon, I made a list for Guruji stating what medicine is to be eaten at what time. He read the list and said, this is very confusing. Give me all the medicines now and let's be done with it. Guruji, you can't eat all of them, I said. Do you want to eat one? You can eat one too, said Guruji. No, Guruji, I'm fine. To my horror, he took all of them, about 6 or 7 in number, and gulped down in one go. Now I'm fine. He gave me a sweet smile and went out of his room. So much for the list. One morning, Guruji rang us up from Delhi and instructed us to bring a certain Ayurveda doctor to him immediately. Guruji, does he know about you? I asked. No, just tell him your Guru is unwell and you need him to go do the checkup, said Guruji. We were given his address and told to leave immediately. At his clinic, as I sat waiting, I noticed he had pictures of Lord Shiva all over the place. I understood that he was a devotee of Shivji. And Guruji may be wanting to bless him. As as we told him about Guruji and Guruji's ill health. He told us that it was impossible for him to travel to Delhi and he was himself very unwell. He was having pain in his abdomen and was undergoing tests. We tried to convince him, and with Guruji's grace, he agreed to accompany us. All through the journey, he kept throwing up, and we were worried that if anything happened to him, his family would not spare us. We reached Delhi at 10 p.m. and Guruji called us all inside his room. Doctor Sahab, mera pancreas kaam nahi karta. Koi dawai de do. Doctor, my pancreas isn't working well. Give me some medication for it, said Guruji. He checked Guruji up and prescribed some medication. Guruji then instructed us to leave for Chandigarh immediately after langar. As soon as this doctor had langar at Guruji's temple, the pain disappeared and slept peacefully through the journey back to Chandigarh. Guruji called us the next day and told us that had the doctor not come to Guruji, his appendix would have burst. Being slightly on the plump side, I was forever trying out different things to lose weight. A popular product in the market promised desired results in 2 weeks, and I went ahead and bought it. Every morning I ate capsules and skipped lunch to have shakes instead. Hardly a week passed when Guruji suddenly landed up at our house. He went straight to my bedroom and sat on my bed. What are those boxes and medicines on your table? He asked. Guruji, I am taking those to lose some weight. I said, really? You can lose weight like this? Give me your capsules and shake to drink also. I went to the kitchen and made him a glass. He ate the capsules too. That day, he never mentioned anything, but after a few days, when I went to Delhi to meet him, he told me that by drinking the shake and eating the capsules that day, he had taken all the negative effects onto himself, and that if I do not stop taking these things, my kidneys would eventually fail. He gave me his leftover water in the glass and told me to drink it. Go home and check your weight. I have made you lose 2 kilos. Sure enough, as I reached home and weighed myself, I was precisely 2 kilos lighter. Many a times, Guruji would take on disciples' illness onto himself and all night would remain in pain. This is another trait that is unique to just Lord Shiva, क्योंकि एक महाशिव है जो दूसरों का विष अपने ऊपर ले सकते हैं, बाकी कोई और देवी देवता ये नहीं करते. It would break my heart to see him in such a condition. My mother and I would feel helpless on such occasions. Knowing he was powerful and could do anything, I would often wonder, why can't he just cure someone? Why does he have to take these things onto himself and suffer? I got my answer much later, when one day he told me that by taking the pain onto himself, he wants the disciple to realize the true worth of a guru. He wants us to realize what all a guru does for his disciple. All of us whose lives he has touched, blessed, and no doubt made easier can never, ever even come close to thanking him. हम गुरुजी का देनिया दे ही नहीं सकते. His love for us is unconditional and so very deep that we cannot even begin to fathom. सब धरती कागज करूं, लेखन बन रहे हैं. 7 समुंदर की मास करूं, गुर गुन लिखा न जाए. That's what Kabir ji says. Even if the whole world is transformed into paper, with all the big trees made into pens, and if the entire water in the 7 oceans is transformed into writing ink, even then the glories of the Guru cannot be written. So much is the greatness of our Guru. All right, I am going to stop here for today, and we will read more tomorrow. Over to you, Shilpi Aunty or Ekta Aunty.
Thank you, Aarti Aunty. It was beautiful reading, and every time you are reading and you are quoting the examples, it's always an answer for someone or the other. So like yesterday, when you were sharing about the darshans, you know, I really wanted to raise my hand and share with the Sangat, because yesterday only I was blessed by darshans of Lord Shiva. And it was a very slight, just a shadow image of Lord Shiva, but not just for me. And the validation came right away through the reading. So Shukrana Maharaj, and really looking forward for the next day tomorrow. Jai Guruji.
Likewise, and like Guruji always said, there's never a coincidence in his world. He is orchestrating every bit of what life is unfolding, and it is happening according to his will, his grace, his design. And we must pray for acceptance, surrender, faith, and gratitude.
Absolutely. Jai Guruji.
Jai Guruji.
Have a great day.
You too, my dear. And anyone else?
Does anybody have any question or any query? Otherwise, we'll wrap up for today.
All right. Look forward to tomorrow. Sorry, did I interject?
Yeah, fine. So we are fine. Yeah.
Okay. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivji Sada Sahai. Om Namah Shivaya, Guruji Sada Sahai. Sada Shukrana Maharaj. Jai Guruji. Jai Guruji.